This is a KISS original on 101.9 KISS FM. The geekdom is spreading. It is present at almost every turn. And it's only a matter of time before it comes for you.
Nothing in our solar system can help us.
Let the Geek Patrol be your guide as you delve into the worlds of science, gaming, and pop culture. This is Geek Tank Radio.
Welcome, everyone. We are the Geek Patrol, and our microphones don't have a stun setting. This season of Geek Tank Radio is brought to you by Basement Dweller Air Freshener. Dorito breath, body odor, or stale pizza fumes are no match for Basement Dweller Air Freshener. Just because your life stinks doesn't mean your man cave has to. Basement Dweller Air Freshener.
See, when you started listing off Dorito breath and stuff, I thought those were going to be the scents that they had.
Yeah. No. These need to combat those things. They may get a date over there.
Is this from Cosby's?
Well, same manufacturer, but yeah.
Also useful for conventions.
Well, the gaming rooms are well qualified.
Hey, my question is, I want to go on record as saying this, and this is about MCFC.
Yeah.
Our gaming room, Kaylin and Dave keep that pretty clean.
Yeah,
You know what really ends up smelling bad at our convention? The vendor room.
Hey, we want people buying stuff.
No, we want people to buy stuff, but when you have leather goods, and then someone selling essential oils, and then you have someone with vintage posters, so you've got kind of that moldy, musty paper smell, you walk out of there.
So it's not like
it's very intoxicating.
I call it con-stoned.
Yeah.
So it's not like when chocolate and peanut butter combine. It's sort of the opposite.
It's the exact
all I know is that smell gets into your nostrils. You get a little stoned, and you spend way more money.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
my question
is
kind
of worried about leather and perfume. I'm going. All right.
Going back to our sponsor here, Joe.
Yeah.
Does this one work in the crawl space area, the crawl space dwellers, and or the attic dwellers? Because I don't have a basement in my house.
It all depends on the...
Are your kids running through the crawl spaces again?
I had to pull one out underneath the house.
No,
we thought it was a road. No, I'm not kidding. By the way, that's a real story.
Yeah, just use extra strength for that. But they're covering it all. But anyway, welcome.
You're gonna have to send that for next season because we already have amusing stories.
Heard the 4-year-old in the walls the other day, and that was quite fun.
Anyway, welcome to Geek Tank, everybody. So and speaking of convention stuff, we're gonna have actually a buddy of ours from the Memphis Marriott East, where we're holding the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention this year. She's going to give us a little primer, I guess, or we're going to give her a primer, I think.
Well, it is mutually beneficial to both us and her.
Important information, and I'm kind of a little nervous about Amazon's takeover of the world. We're going to talk about that today. Yep. And I guess I'm on the same side as Bernie Sanders somehow. Imagine that.
We'll discuss that.
So you are the 1% that I actually like. Bold and beautiful.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon, what are we calling this? Allan is going to actually rate. Okay. He's not going to rant. He's going to share a musing with us.
We have a brand new segment we're debuting this season called Musings.
Okay.
And Allan's up first.
Yeah. And you can talk about anything you want.
Yeah, pretty much. It'll be our chance to kind of tell you how our lives are going and funny stories. And next season we'll have Brody's kid in the wall.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and actually he's also going to bring us a useful story about getting plastic out of the ocean.
Right.
And then gaming sounds like it's going to be pretty cool. And
but political.
There's a lot more.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going political?
Yeah, I guess
we have to.
It's
we
too
only,
big to not.
We only tap into the political and downtrodden when we have to because we like to keep things positive here.
Okay.
But this is something we can't.
We're positive.
We can't
look away.
Okay. Well, we hope you don't look away. Coming up next on Geek Tank Radio.
The Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention is turning 10 and celebrating in a big way. We're starting Friday, November 15th, back in East Memphis at Memphis Marriott East. Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention 2019, November 15th through 17th. Check out the stars, Janelle Stevens from Black Panther and Luke Cage. Our Friday night concert, headlined by Kaza, cosplay contests, live cartoons, comic book artists, authors, and one-of-a-kind collectibles you can't find anywhere in the galaxy. Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, November 15th through 17th at Memphis Marriott East. Get your 3-day passes or single-day tickets now at MCFC.com.
No matter what nefarious plan he has cooked up, Allan always keeps it educational. Get banished to Professor Gilbreth's Science Corner.
Alrighty, you guys know that I like our environment, oceans, and all that
Well, we
environmental
all do,
friendly
Alan.
stuff.
Don't get on your high.
Well, yeah, it's like, what's
so
the
don't-
point of taking over a world if it's
Well,
garbage?
you don't want to take over the failing world.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So, I've actually reported on some of the cleanup issues in the past. Like we've had our little plastic eating fungus and stuff floating around in Lake Geneva and all that.
Yeah.
Well, the nonprofit group Ocean Cleanup has been working for years trying to get all the junk out of the ocean. And they have been trying to perfect a capture system. And so far to date, it really hasn't worked all that well.
That's because it's been catch and release.
It was kind of catch and release.
'Cause
We
you're
caught a bunch of
catching
plastic
tuna
that
and-
kind of got loose,
Yeah.
or we got fish in it, or we got whatever. Well, a bunch of Dutch scientists got together with them and came up with a massive free-floating capture system.
What's the acronym for that?
They just said, you know what? They didn't give it an acronym. They said it catches plastic.
The MAFTA or whatever.
It is. So what they've done is they've built basically a huge plastic sheet that folds out like a giant arms.
How giant are we talking, Alan?
Oh, we're talking acres.
Okay.
We're talking hundreds.
If it's on
of
the
feet.
ocean, you're going to need that.
Yeah.
So like the size of an Amazon warehouse.
Yeah.
In so many ways. In
Right.
so many ways.
Okay.
Well, let's put it this way. It is large enough to catch a ghost net.
I don't know what.
So what is a ghost net?
Yeah, I don't.
A ghost net is when people are out doing the trawling and they're putting out the gill nets, breaks loose, floats free into the ocean. So these things can be hundreds of feet, if not thousands of feet long, and it's called a ghost net, and it floats around in the ocean. Whether we're trawling it back in or not, it's still catching stuff.
Okay.
Well, this device can actually pull one of those in. So that is really good news. So it can go from the very, very large, but it can also capture the very, very small. It can hang on to the microplastics. So the little tiny pieces that break off and are usually floating to the bottom or getting eaten by something can now be trapped by this thing.
Is this like a plastic magnet or something? Because
Well-
how does it not catch the fish?
Well, it's designed
What happens
to...
if a whale's trying to surface?
Well-
I mean,
Well, all right, one, it's big enough the whale's going to see it. Two, it's
Okay.
actually designed to let the fish out.
I don't. Get
So
that.
fish
Okay.
can see their way out of this thing. And
can you describe what this looks? I'm picturing just a big clear sheet on the surface of the water.
if you came across this out floating in the water, it would look like a gigantic version of your pool separator.
What's
You remember remember back in the you go out, you go
Like
to
in the
the health
80s or
club,
the 90s, and it had the
floats,
things that would
all
float
the
in
floats out there in the center of it
on
that
the
separated
line
the
that
deep
would,
end
yeah,
from the
separate the deep end from the
shore
shallow.
Oh, I know
All
what
right,
that
all right.
is with the rope.
I was
going
gonna
to
say, yeah, you may have
Okay.
seen it more in an doing your work with the missions and everything. You may have seen it like in a lake
No, I know what that is.
that
yeah.
keeps
Right,
the
right,
fish
yeah.
from coming in and chewing on the children who are playing in the lake.
Yeah, I get
Well,
that.
that's
Okay.
kind of more in the ocean. We don't have a lot of piranhas up here.
Yeah, keeping the sharks.
Hey.
Okay.
I don't know where you go swimming, but you know.
Hey, Northern Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, we use this.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Well, we have really big catfish.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
Those things will latch onto a foot.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. So if you saw this thing out there, it would
I
look
got
a
trauma.
lot like a giant pool separator.
Okay.
Literally hundreds, if not thousands, of feet long. They had one problem with it because it's designed to drift with the currents, and it's got all the bobbers up on top. The wind was speeding it up. It was actually outrunning the plastic.
Okay.
So it was just
Shot
kind of
past the
In our
plastic.
in our efforts to catch the plastic, we've now
We
added
passed
more
it.
crap to the
yeah.
ocean.
We actually
Yeah.
passed it.
Okay.
So the cool thing is, not only are you going to see this great big giant pool separator floating around out there, it's got a parachute slowdown.
Oh, so they.
So it's
found
got a
way
little
to do that.
airfoil to keep it slow, so it stays in the current right on line.
Wow.
All right, Andy. Over under. How many sharks are going to get caught in this thing?
Yeah. That. I mean.
No, they're designed to get out. They're designed to get out.
This is the thing that starts the Sharknado. You know that, right?
Yeah, we got
I was going to say the combination, because remember they did the zombie tidal wave or whatever.
Oh, dude, that was so horrible.
a zombie tsunami or whatever.
no,
which,
that's
is what
what it
which
should-
is what they should have
That's what
called
they.
it.
That's what they called it in the movie.
Oh, okay.
But then the movie was called Zombie Tidal Wave because for some reason the asylum couldn't name the movie Zombie Tsunami.
No, there's probably 50 other Japanese movies by that name.
Probably.
But no, this is going to be the combination where it's a shark tidal wave because it won't like
Right.
Sharknado just doesn't really work
I gotcha.
because it would really honestly it would be a shark water spout if it was going to be anything like that.
It's true.
But
Yeah.
this will be
I
the
love
combination
science.
that starts the shark tidal wave.
Alan, I got a question.
The Attack of the Killer Sardines.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Alan,
So,
you were telling me about that giant. It's I don't know if you call it a plastic plastic berg or something that's floating out in the Pacific Ocean.
Oh,
that's
you're
the size
talking
of Texas.
You're talking about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Okay, so how would it face off against that? I mean,
Well,
is there
as a
something
matter
that
of
could-
fact, they are targeting that. Now that they've got this bad boy working.
Yeah.
All right. Well, keep in mind, there are 2 or 3 places around the world. The Sargasso Sea, better known as the Bermuda,
Yeah, that thing.
Bermuda Triangle.
Sure.
Blah, 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 blah. You get the teeth working. It must be a full moon coming up.
Yeah, stay focused.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a full moon this
Yeah.
weekend, isn't it?
I
I can
think
tell.
so.
All righty. The teeth are getting in the way.
The Lycanese. is
Yeah, I got to
necessary.
get the Lycanese out. What happens is you have these areas where the ocean currents go by each other and they create an eddy and that traps stuff.
That's what I thought. Like almost like a
So-
little cyclone or something.
Well, just like when you go out by the lake or by
Yeah.
the river
Giant
and you
plastic
see where all
scabs.
the junk has washed up on that piece of the shore.
Yeah.
Of the one out in the middle of the Pacific is now twice the size of the state of Texas.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah.
That's,
so
that's a
an issue.
big pile of plastic.
No kidding. Oh man. Okay.
So now that they have developed, and then they call it system, your name for it is System 001B.
Okay.
A apparently wasn't keeping enough plastic, so B is working perfectly. But they have now decided that they need to target this. And what they've actually developed, the system is designed to go out, capture plastic, and hold it until they can go out, clean it out. They're going to bring the plastics back in for recycling or proper disposal and reset it and just let it keep munching the plastic. So they have decided that they are ready to go full scale on this, and they're getting ready to roll out and go try to clean this mess up.
Wait, who's they? Have you told us?
This is
Magical
yeah.
people, Joe. Magical people.
Is it
This,
Putin?
no,
Okay.
this is the ocean cleanup.
Okay. Yeah.
This is ocean cleanup. Nice nonprofit, been out there trying to clean up the oceans for years.
All right.
But targeting the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. I'm just sitting there and thinking, could you picture some poor soul out on his around the world sailing trip,
Yeah.
and you hit this thing?
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And I don't mean it's like you just hit plastic. You hit plastic. And for anybody that's ever driven across the state of Texas,
I have.
It's
you
End
can
to
drive
end.
for 10
So-
hours,
No,
and you're still
12
in Texas.
Took us 12 hours to get through Texas. Yeah.
Oh.
We
Yeah.
went from corner to corner. It was a long drive. Yeah. So,
Now
It's
picture
so
doing
bad.
that twice.
right. Yeah. Okay.
And there's no Whataburger to stop it.
There is no,
Yeah. Good point, man.
and this is out there. So,
Well,
all right,
hats off to these guys.
well, yeah, fair play to the guys at Ocean Cleanup. I hope they have a great success with this. And apparently, they're doing a lot better than Blizzard these days.
Geek Tank Radio energized by
Dark Oak Press and Media, an indie publisher and media provider offering everything from Alice in Memphis to mystery to young adult and everything in between. Get the latest at darkoakpress.com.
More Below and on 1019kissfm.com. Keyword Geek Tank. Gadgets,
Gizmos?
games.
Oh my.
These guys got their hands on it in the tank. Geek Tank Radio is on.
Gentlemen, today's gaming news is somewhat somber, which feels weird because we're
good.
talking about video games.
No
Yeah.
screaming.
Well, maybe.
Oh,
Maybe later.
There could be.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, there has
we got
been.
some, we got some cool news about, the PlayStation 5 that came out. Like,
Kinda.
some news came out about that, but none of that matters. We'll talk about that later because
It got
the biggest-
trumped by the big
biggest
news.
in gaming this week that was so big it got aired on ABC, USA Today, CNN. Was that there was a player who goes by the name of Blitzchung.
He's a Heartstone player.
He was a Hearthstone player. Hearthstone is a Blizzard game, which, by the way, for those who don't know, Blizzard is owned by Activision.
But this is a card game. This is
Yeah,
like
it's a
tabletop
card.
card.
It's an online card game. So it's
Oh,
not
okay.
you don't get
It's a
physical
digital card
cards.
game.
It's not like Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
It's a digital card game.
Okay.
Yeah.
and they had a tournament. He won.
Mhm.
He's Grandmaster of the tournament. And in his exit interview, after winning the match on the live stream, Blitzchung is from Hong Kong.
Okay.
Which, for anybody who doesn't know, Hong
And
Kong
massive
is
amounts of
currently-
turmoil.
Hong Kong is currently in a massive amount of turmoil in China, and they are millions of people out in the streets protesting, attempting to keep their independence from mainland China,
From their government.
from the Chinese government.
Right.
Blitzchung is from Hong Kong, and on the live stream, he said, completely unprompted or anything like that, just kind of dropped it on the interviewers. He said, "Free Hong Kong, the revolution of our day."
Yeah.
And for that statement, he was banned from the game for a year, banned from any professional tournaments for the game for a year, from playing the game at all for a year. The $10,000 in prize money that he won has been fined from him. So basically, they gave him the money, and then they immediately fined him that exact amount.
The exact
of money.
dollar amount. Jeez.
And then the two interviewers who were on the stream who allowed it to happen have been fired.
Oh, okay. So I got a problem with that.
Which, of course, if you were watching the interview, they're not in the same location. It's not like they could have tackled him and said, "Don't say anything."
Right.
Well,
so I got a problem.
It's also the stream that it happened on was Blizzard's Taiwan or Chinese.
Okay. It's their server thing.
Okay. Locale or whatever.
So here's a couple issues that arise from this, right?
Right.
Is that, and a couple questions too. Is one, is there a free speech clause at all in where they were locating from?
No.
Okay.
Because this is this is the People's Republic of China. They do not have any kind of free speech whatsoever. They have they've got the social credit system now,
Right.
where they have cameras that track you on their highways
right.
every couple of
Okay,
yards.
so that being said, I have an issue with Blizzard firing the interviewers, okay?
Yeah.
I do a ton of interviews.
Yeah.
All right? And you never know what your guest is going to say.
Right.
You have to be prepared for anything, and obviously, questions to ask, but when somebody automatically drops a line and you're not prepared for it, especially a live interview.
Yeah, especially when you're on
what
a
are
live
you
stream.
what are you supposed to do?
And you don't have the safety of the dump button like we do when
Right.
we do
I
interviews.
wouldn't blame
And
them.
that is something else. It's like, if with the way they have their setup, those guys who are doing the interview, they're not controlling production.
Right.
They
Right.
couldn't have cut his feed.
Right. I mean, exactly. So what were they supposed to do? Like, really, I want to see in their clause, like, if things go off the rail, if S hits the fan, proverbially,
You're right.
or non,
Or literally.
what are they supposed to do there? It's on the internet, so automatically you're protected by the FCC. There's no such thing as safe harbor on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay? You watch at your own risk. Unless you have a clause in there that says we will remain PC,
Well, it's
will
like,
remain...
It's like the but the Chinese internet is far and away different from ours.
Oh, sure.
So, for example, the episode of South Park that just aired,
Yeah.
where they roasted the Chinese government.
Banned in
Right.
China is the name of it.
Yeah, the episode is called "Banned in China."
Right.
And China, because of that episode, has now scrubbed all mention and existence of South Park from their version of the internet.
Right.
You cannot find South Park. You don't. The people
It
in
doesn't
China
exist.
will not even know that it exists.
Right.
I was speaking of which, I did love Matt Stone and Trey Parker's
Absolutely.
answer to it.
Yeah.
We can't say it here because we try and keep things family friendly.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But same thing. Like there's like a meme that went around for a long time of if you play an online game and you're playing against a Chinese player and they screw you over or whatever, or they start getting trollish or whatever. If you want to get them banned from the internet for the rest of their days, all you have to do is find the Chinese characters for Tiananmen Square and send them to them.
Wow.
If it pops up on their internet, they're gone
Wow.
forever. Like,
Well, okay, so I understand now why the player was banned
Right.
for a year. Which, by the way, it
See,
seems like it would be honestly kind of a leniency for only a year.
well, okay. So what? In Blizzard's like clause about like it going into their tournaments and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
they have statements about how any kind of political messaging at all, doesn't
Mhm.
matter what side you're taking or whatever, is actionable.
Oh.
because the point is that you're not like you're using.
This is not a
Blizzard's-
platform.
Yeah, you're
Right.
using Blizzard's platform to try to get your message out
across,
or
right.
whatever. So to that degree, like banning the dude, I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's in their code of conduct.
Right.
So,
However, he won the tournament. Give him his prize money.
well, they did. They just fined him.
He
Then
won the
subsequently
tournament.
afterwards.
Give him his prize money. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they
um,
didn't though. Like, and that's what
Well-
illegally they did. However, they also fined him for a code of conduct violation.
And we don't know what his contract says. Maybe it's in there. Maybe it says
but-
if you do this, you don't get.
you get fined and banned.
Yeah.
So here's the other stuff that's happening now. From the company themselves,
And
not
here's
the,
where
not
they're
not the reaction.
Here's
to,
where they're screwing the pooch.
Yeah, not the reaction to it by the player base, especially here in the West,
Right.
but what the company is continuing to do. So now, if you go on Blizzard forums and start talking about this,
Mhm.
you are banned from their forums for 1,000 years.
1,000-year ban.
What?
Oh, have you never heard of the 1,000-year ban?
I mean, I've heard of it,
Yeah,
but
Just a
yeah, they're
lifetime
being
ban.
enacted.
wow.
Yeah, and by the way, that 1,000-year ban came as a result of a class action suit against Allan because they thought, well,
Well,
we better
yeah,
cover our tracks here.
That's
That's called the
probably-
Allan Gilbreth clause.
That's
just to
probably
be
true.
safe.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow. So they're like cutting the
So-
nose off, spite the face now.
So here's what's
Oh, wait,
happening.
it gets better.
Here's what's happening in response from the player base. Okay, especially again here in the West, thousands of people are going online and canceling their World of Warcraft subscriptions.
Oh.
They are dropping Blizzard games left, right, and center.
Wow.
Um,
So, but we're hitting them where we know it's going to count.
with the wallet,
The wallet, the
And
pocketbook.
The other thing that they're doing is there's a character in Overwatch named Mei, who is from China. Her history, she's Chinese.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Americans or Hong Kong protesters or what, but they have begun to appropriate her and use her as a symbol of the Hong Kong protests. And what they're trying to do is get Google like image
Yeah.
algorithms.
Yeah.
When you Google search her character
This pops
to
up.
pull up pro Hong Kong protest imagery,
Mhm.
so that the Chinese government will ban Overwatch
Oh.
in China
Wow. Boy, that would take a huge hit.
because they're trying to hit Blizzard for what they did
Yeah.
for banning this dude and denying him his ability.
Well, what
to-
does
to
this?
speak.
What would this mean for us? I mean, obviously, we're talking about a huge player base when it comes to Overwatch
what's
and
happening
World of
now
Warcraft.
is I'm seeing reports that the second one that came up. Brandon just Googled May Overwatch. The second picture on Google results is a pro Hong Kong.
The first
May.
one is.
Is that
The first one is. It's all about. It's like they're putting.
No, that's just a picture of one of her costumes.
But it
That
doesn't matter.
one
They've been
is-
using this one with her in her red costume with the fur line.
Yeah.
As a poster. They've also started photoshopping masks onto her. One of which says like free Hong Kong, the resistance of our day. And it's right here. This one's a little vulgar and I can't say everything on it, but it's
That's interesting. So it's already working.
Well, what's happening now is there are 4 methods of authentication that Blizzard uses when you try to cancel your subscription or delete your account. They try to use email, text message. I forget what the other 2 are, but they have
actuators.
Yeah, actuators. Yes, they have shut down all 4 means of authentication to allow people to try to cancel their subscriptions. You cannot cancel a subscription right now.
Well,
Which goes completely against
that
their own
is-
terms of
yeah.
service with the contract that they signed with you
Right.
digitally. The class action suits are coming.
Yeah, especially
at the
now.
very least, I don't know if they're not letting people cancel their subscriptions, but they're not letting people delete their accounts.
Yeah. There's a developer. What is it? Mark Kern.
Yeah.
He developed WoW, the original WoW. Helped in doing the reboot recently. Major player. You know, if you end up on the server with him, it's like, he deactivated his account yesterday.
Whoa.
He was one of the last people to actually deactivate and delete his account.
One of the major casters for Heartstone tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this dude has been doing it since the game basically came out. He's like a legendary caster for these tournaments.
Sure.
Quit.
Man.
And refuses to work
okay,
with Blizzard
so
anymore.
is this the end of Blizzard as we know it?
There were employee walkouts yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the walkouts.
There's a sign. So outside of Blizzard headquarters in Irvine, California, there's a big statue of one of the orc leaders from the Horde from Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
And underneath it, in kind of a compass circle formation around the statue, are Blizzard's like mission statements, sort of.
Right.
One of those statements
one of them
is every voice matters.
Yeah.
And the next day after the banning, Blizzard employees went to work and covered it up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
Jeez.
this is, and I watched a video last night where somebody was kind of detailing this whole situation, and they were basically saying Blizzard has been put into a lose-lose situation now.
Yeah.
Because they have they can continue down the path that they're going down by trying to essentially appease their business interests in China, which is a huge profit.
I mean, that's a lot of
for them.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
members.
It's a lot of
Tencent
money.
owns like 40% of Blizzard.
Something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. I mean, you have to.
It's a huge profit block for them.
Yeah.
So they can either continue to try to protect their business interests in China, because if they don't, like if they allow this to go down, if they issue an apology, we saw the same stuff happening with the NBA recently.
Right.
If they allow this stuff to go down, if they issue an apology, if they come out and say, well, of course we're in favor of freedom and democracy and all this other stuff, China will simply just tell them you can no longer do business in China.
Right.
Yeah.
And that will be the end of it.
Right.
And that's billions and billions.
And that will be
of
the
dollars
end of
lost.
Blizzard, because that's a lot of
well,
money.
you have to remember, Activision said Blizzard last year Blizzard posted higher profits than they have ever had, and then they fired 800 people.
Right.
So if they lose China,
Yeah, they're SOL.
yeah, they're SOL.
So
on
again,
the
where
other-
does
on the
this?
other hand-
How does this affect us?
On the other hand, if they don't do anything, if they don't come out and say, of course, we're for freedom of expression and for...
They lose the West.
They lose the West.
So no matter what, the line's been drawn.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's... Yes, Alan.
Well, I think at this point, we need to look at the Valdez.
Okay.
Let's have a terrible event
Yeah.
with a huge public relations debacle.
Are you talking about the Exxon Valdez?
I
the
am
oil spill?
indeed.
Okay.
I am indeed. Of the number of people that swore they would never go to that gas station again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's still hard feelings decades later.
Yeah.
However, the affected area has more or less recovered.
Yeah.
Now, there were, the opinion as to how in-depth the recovery efforts were, and I know we're talking about an oil spill versus a video game,
Right.
but in many ways, the PR debacle is the same. The event happened.
Right.
Then your response to the event happened.
Right.
And then the fallout from both began to happen.
Right.
And, a strong enough company, I hate to say it, if Blizzard is, they were unwise enough to wind up in this position.
Yeah.
And, I'm also reminded of how many times have we seen a celebrity turn the script at the Oscars
Yeah.
Yeah.
over.
Well, okay.
Or step in something inadvertently or purposefully. and then resurge their careers
even
sometime
even
later.
in
But the thing
Geekdom,
is-
when Lord of the Rings was on stage, Sean Astin, cute little Samwise, suddenly went on a political rant for a minute or two,
Yeah.
to which, Gimli the dwarf over there goes, "Shut up, boy."
Yeah.
And this was finally a fantasy film getting an Oscar, but yet one person decided to go jump off script.
Yeah.
And
here's the difference between the Oscars and what we're talking about now.
this kid did the same thing to him. He
But-
ambushed him in the
Yeah, except we have the privilege of having 110%. Whatever you want to say is fine.
Wait. No. We don't. Because there was a American team streaming in America on a Blizzard
Server
event. It was a Blizzard event, but they were a team in America from America
Okay.
that streamed during the event that held up a sign in front of their camera that said "Free Hong Kong," and Blizzard cut the feed.
well,
We
they
don't.
violated their terms of service.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to and before
We
get too
we
far,
as citizens do.
Our
We as
heart
citizens do, but this is the thing, and this is what
our
somebody
heart
said
can
yesterday.
be with these people.
Right.
Our heart
that-
can
yeah.
truly be with these people, but you also have to look at their cause.
Yeah. Well, okay.
You're
so this is-
ambushing and damaging
yeah.
people that may have even helped you with your cause.
Right. And this is the thing, this is what people were saying yesterday, because Brody, this is where you were about to go. In America, we have freedom of expression because it's guaranteed in the Bill of Rights and the Constitution,
Right.
right? But all that does is free us from being prosecuted and arrested for what we say by the government.
Right.
That does not free us from punishment by private institutions, which we are representatives of when we are on a
Server or whatever have you.
on something that they are hosting.
It's the same way.
Note the NBA and the Houston Rockets recently.
Right. And it's the same way with iHeart.
Right.
Right. We have a code of conduct that we have to adhere by, and if we don't, then we could be fired.
Right.
Okay. Your freedom of speech doesn't negate your freedom of consequence.
Right.
When it comes to the private sector.
Yes, it doesn't negate freedom of consequence from private institutions. It negates the ability for the government to punish you.
But
for
as
what you
gaming
say.
fans, you guys should ask yourself: do you want? Because obviously we support, Hong Kong and everything, but at the same time, do you guys want a gaming event that just turns into just a political rally and
Everything.
or
Well, and
everybody's
but
their?
that's-
Well, I think we need to. I mean, do we?
Where
want
does-
that?
where is
That's
that
one of
line?
the reasons I got
Well,
into
that's the
baseball
other-
so much, because it's like at least this is a diversion that I don't get all that.
Well, I
that's-
think that's why
that's the other
people
thing
get
that-
into sports.
That's
Yeah.
why
You
it's
know.
just a side. Yeah, and
But that's the other thing
so,
that people are concerned about. BlizzCon is coming up next month.
Yeah.
Blizzard stepped,
they got a
Blizzard
convention,
stepped
yeah.
in this mess, and they have their convention, which was
Yeah.
a disaster last year
Yeah.
because of the Diablo Immortal thing and the fact that they were basically porting over a Chinese-developed mobile game to try to hand to hardcore PC master race kind of players.
Yeah.
And then say, what do you guys not have phones? Like, that was a PR disaster.
Right.
But that's just a PR disaster for them as a company about
And PC gamers.
not understanding who their player base was.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a PR disaster
On the global.
on a global scale.
Right.
Well,
And they have a
it's-
convention next month.
Well, then guess what? They're going to have, if they have any sense, I'm going to go back to throwing Exxon Valdez advice.
Right.
And go, take your beat down.
Yeah.
I mean, pick your, you obviously they have already chosen their course of action.
Anybody want to buy a BlizzCon ticket? Because there's a ton of them on eBay right now.
Yeah.
So
They're just going to have to take their beat down.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, I hate to say it, they've already made their choice.
Right.
You can do anything you want at this point, and you're either going to dig the hole deeper, or
Right.
you're going to come off as insincere, or you're going to dig the other hole deeper.
Right.
Right.
So really, just sometimes you look at people and go, sometimes you just got to admit you fell in it.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to crawl out of the bucket.
It's
you need to
the-
go take a shower.
Does-
you need to hunker down
yeah.
and just do good, clean business and leave it alone.
But in 2 weeks, is this going to be old news? And
No.
people?
No, I don't think so.
This
one's not going
I don't think so.
away.
And
At
that
least
being
a
said,
year.
I think that being said,
Hong Kong is burning.
right.
I'm just saying, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think is Blizzard as a whole company, are they done? Because I mean, we're talking
God,
this
no.
could
No.
You know why? And they'll never be done. There's another little area in Southeast Asia who keeps Blizzard afloat with nothing but
with
StarCraft.
nothing but StarCraft. Yeah. South Korea keeps Blizzard alive.
Yeah.
With nothing but StarCraft.
So-
we could all stop playing Warcraft.
right.
we could
and
all just stop
Overwatch
playing anything.
and all of it. And South Korea would keep Blizzard running with nothing but their StarCraft tournaments.
So I mean, no matter what, Blizzard's not gone.
Well, they're also they're owned by Activision,
Right.
Because that's the thing. Yes, it happened on a Blizzard thing, but I don't, especially with the way that Blizzard employees responded to the situation. I don't think that this was a mandate from Blizzard on high.
Right.
I think this was Activision rolling down on them.
Oh, so this is more Activision's problem than it
Of
is
course.
Blizzard's problem. Okay.
Well, I mean, no, Blizzard is taking the heat.
oh yeah. That's
But Activision are the ones who should be taking the heat, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Well, then that's only because people won't focus directly on Tencent anyway, who owns a ton of stock in all your major gaming development companies.
Right.
Well, this should be interesting.
Epic
though.
came out and they were like, we would never do to anybody to this.
If somebody in a Fortnite stream
thing,
said something like that, we would never do something like
and
that.
then like someone immediately responded to him, it's like, isn't about 25% of your company owned by Tencent as well?
Yeah.
Yep.
And they went silent.
Right. It'll be interesting what happens at BlizzCon then. Like,
They're just
what?
going to take their beat down. That's all they can do.
They're
Just
gonna,
take the beat down.
yeah. I think Alan's right. I think they're gonna have to take their licks. It's a
beatdown. I mean, I hate to say it.
It's not gonna be. It's not.
It's
gonna
not
be
gonna be
just
pretty.
It's not gonna be pretty. It's going to be a beating.
I'll be honest. I mean, Blizzard has been less than blizzed
Yeah.
since their movie.
Yeah. Well, it's been okay.
So their
since
movie came out.
Activision bought them,
Right.
and they stopped being Blizzard.
Well,
Because
it's true.
Blizzard back in the day was all about we love our players.
Right.
We want them to love our games. We love our games. We want y'all to love our games.
So
And we
they
will
now
make
have an
for
overlord.
you what you guys want to play.
Right.
And then Activision bought them
Right.
and saw dollar signs and started making, reskins of Chinese mobile games for Diablo players and a movie that didn't make any money and
Right.
all that stuff.
Okay, so instead of boycott Blizz, it's boycott Activision.
I've been saying that for years.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all feel the same way about Activision. Like,
Yeah.
All right.
Activision is garbage.
Yeah.
They keep making the same Call of Duty game every year.
They're all, exactly. It's the Madden of FPSs.
right. I mean,
Speaking of which, something else that needs to go away. Why do you guys keep playing? Sorry.
Madden 20 is pretty cool.
Hey, can I end this on a happy
go
note?
home.
Can I end this on a happy note?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Is there a
Please
toy in the
so-
box?
You're the one who begged me for NBA 2K, 2K20.
Just so I can sell it.
Yeah. Anyway, so got the Terminator this week.
Yes.
Oh my god. Gameplay's fun. But that's not what did it for Mortal Kombat 11 this week. To celebrate 27 years of gaming superiority, they dropped a new tower in the Tower of Time.
Really?
Classic tower. Everybody in 11 who was in the original Mortal Kombat game, starting with Sonya, Johnny Cage, Kano, all the way up to Shang Tsung, that's the tower.
Oh, that's pretty
That's cool.
That is the tower. And when you beat it, you get like a handful of like skins, like a ton of
Can you
stuff.
play? Can you play with anybody?
And you can
Or do
play
you
with
have to
anybody
play a
you
classic?
want to.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's pretty-
I beat it with the Terminator.
Oh,
and
cool.
then, brutality level, I had to use Scorpion. It's just... Yeah, that's what happens when you like annihilate something so hardcore that they have to open up a new difficulty because you were kind of a BA.
That's a good name for a band. Andy, there you go.
Brutality level?
Yeah.
That is cool, actually.
Yeah,
It's very metal.
I was gonna say,
It's very metal.
Very metal.
Man, it's got a mosh pit and everything.
Yeah.
I don't think you could do like, I don't know, nursery rhymes with that name, but
No,
that's
not
cool.
really.
No, but I would love to hear you do hardcore metal nursery rhymes under that name. Now, because
Sorry.
Was what I
Hey, I got to congratulate you guys on a very civilized discussion here. No rantings, made good points, and,
I mean,
It's
and we took it out with something that doesn't have anything to do with anything. And we came up with a new band name for Andy.
Yes.
We've done it all.
That's the important part of this whole segment.
Yeah.
Yes. None of the rest of this mattered. We just came up with a new band.
I mean,
name, that's all.
we do believe
It's not like
in
Blizzard's
freedom.
giving us any money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, freedom, democracy. That's all good.
Yeah, that's fine.
We like that stuff.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
Nursery rhymes, heavy metal. That's what matters.
I'll take the money.
We've talked about them,
We've played them.
and now we'll show you.
The all-new Twitch channel from Geek Tank Radio is here,
Go Ready Player Geek.
where we unpack and dive into single-player, story-driven games, to fighters, to multiplayer shooters, to tabletop and card games, and everything in between.
And stay up to date with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Ready Player Geek.
Check us out now at twitch.tv/ReadyPlayerGeek.
Streaming every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night at 8 Central.
The Geek Patrol are the who's who when it comes to the geek universe.
They're in a geek tank.
We are just over a month out from the MCFC, Memphis Comic and Fantasy, our 10-year anniversary.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, and
I haven't been sleeping
Oh my
much.
God, it's been.
all right, hold on.
Oh, really?
Before you get any bad thoughts because of Joe talking about how he hasn't slept much. That's because he's been making bats for the Cubs.
Well,
Hey, let's just be honest.
Okay.
I mean, we've seen pictures of him all over the internet with his
yeah, so.
specialized, Chicago Cubs bats.
Okay,
Anyway, but yes, we are counting down the days at this point. It is the kickoff to the Rhodes MCFC. We just finished getting all of our programming together, which we'll be debuting that soon. Catch us at our booth at the Memphis Comic Expo coming up on the 19th and 20th, where we will kind of fill you in on a little bit of that. But we want to do things a little bit different this time. Usually when we kick off our road to MCFC, we start talking about how, the cosplay contest, which is going to be amazing. We're going to we've got new management on that again.
That's sort of an ongoing.
It's an ongoing thing.
No, we
it's
do
always
actually have a
evolving.
great
Our big thing this year is embrace change. And we also want to let the fans know that we're listening. And they wanted us to come back to East Memphis.
Yeah.
So we are going to be celebrating this year at the Marriott Memphis East. And with us today is Alicia Williams. And how are you doing today?
I am well. How are you?
I am ecstatic about getting to work with you guys because so far everything that we've come at you guys with is an idea. You've gone, oh yeah, we can do that. That won't be a problem. It's
Just
been,
say yes. That's kind of what's going on over there.
That's been it, and it's just we never really focus on the hotel staff when we're doing these promotions leading up to the convention, and this whole year is about embracing change.
Right.
And in doing that, we are going to put the spotlight on the people who are going to help us do that, and that's you guys.
Yay.
Yeah, Alicia. So because we came over there, we're like I said. Hey, say what you want about the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention. We listened to what people say.
Yeah.
They wanted to move back to East Memphis, and we said, okay, well, we're going to do that. So. And really, there's limited venues in Memphis, but the Marriott is sort of this gem right there in East Memphis, man. I don't,
So, Alicia, give us an idea why the Marriott?
Why not the Marriott?
Well,
Here's your chance.
That's the
Brag a
perfect
little
answer.
bit. What all y'all got?
Well, we have everything. We have over
there you go.
8,000 square feet of meeting space. We have 232 rooms with 3 suites. We have a really, really, really nice presidential suite that you all have. So.
Yeah. We
we're
have
digging
been
that
inside
place.
there. We have seen it. I'm just going to camp out there all weekend.
Yeah.
Nobody else can have it. but
You
me.
all have all of our meeting space, so we won't have any problems with other groups. You all can have it all.
Right.
The restaurant, the bar, everything.
yeah.
I think one of the things that really caught me, and we just noticed it the last walkthrough we did, was you have an indoor pool.
We do have an indoor pool.
When you get to our convention, usually most of the venues that have a pool have shut them down because they're outdoors.
No, it's
Yeah,
a
'cause
really
we're in
cool.
November.
It's
Yeah.
a really cool indoor pool because the elevator. It's on the first floor, but the elevator's on the 3rd floor.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like this secret, like Lex Luthor entrance
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
there. And,
And,
stuff,
and the
but
truth
it's,
is when you come down that hallway, it is very much like you're going into a secret lair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is. It's a whole separate elevator. It's right by our offices, so we get to see everybody that goes to the pool.
Right.
But it's really weird. A lot of people get kind of confused, but it's on the 3rd floor. The pool is actually on the 1st floor.
Yeah. But it's a really beautiful space too, and I feel like one of the big thing for me was when we met with you guys there, we've dealt with a lot of personalities, let's just say,
right,
in the last 10 years of organizing the convention, and honestly, you guys are the best. And it's
thank you.
It's from the top down. I mean, the general manager, the salespeople, everybody in the restaurant, and they're all excited about us being there, which is a nice feeling.
We've had instances where we've got people who are excited, but you can tell it's from a business standpoint,
right?
But, how much money are we making off it? So
talking with some of the employees you guys have out there, I mean, we start talking, well, this is what we do, and you see the eyes light up, and whether it's something they're into or something their kids are into, it everybody's got a story about that's making me super excited about being over there.
Well, we are a corporate hotel, so we get a lot of corporate business. So anytime we get anything that's not corporate, we're really excited about it, because it's kind of like a change of pace.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend for you guys.
Talk about a change of pace.
I was like, Andy and I both looked at each other and went, "Wow." Yeah, we're about to show you the definition of change of pace.
Yeah. Do you have any ideas about what you're going to see, Alicia? Because it is always funny when it actually happens. But have you ever been to a comic convention?
No, but there was a time I lived downtown, so I was running down Main Street, and they had some type of convention at the convention center.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a lot of people in costumes.
That was
walking.
probably us.
No,
it was Anime Blues.
That was our friends Allan Vu and George Mann and the Anime's Blues Con.
Yeah, it was very interesting. The costumes were nice.
They're pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of people.
What's
in
great is that
costume
you'll get a chance to interact with the cosplayers, and to hear their stories about what they put into making their costumes.
Oh, really?
It's not just something they went and bought at Party City. They put a lot of effort.
Oh.
Hours upon hours leading up to every convention doing their cosplays, and it really is amazing to listen to.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Hey, Alicia, and too, with it being the 10-year anniversary, we do want to do a few special things, which we are going to do, but we're keeping them as a surprise.
Yeah, Joe, we're
No.
Shush.
But I also wanted to, I do feel good being back in East Memphis, but honestly, this is the most comfortable convention space I think we've had. It just, every part of the hotel just feels really kind of inviting and kind of cozy, I guess you would say.
Cozy's a
and
good word.
Updated, nice. I like the fact that every room has its own thermostat.
Yeah.
That's been a problem in the past.
We've been at certain locations where it's like, why is there no air circulating through here? And it's like you go to, and the thermostat's broken.
And why does it feel like a meat locker in this panel?
Yeah, and what's really bad is they're right next to each other.
Oh wow! Right. Well, yeah. Our
we don't
work.
want to focus on the negatives of the past. We want to talk about the positives of the future.
I was focused on we have all the space.
Every single meeting space that we have is blocked for you all.
So this will be nothing but.
It will be nothing but.
We will not be interrupting somebody's church service.
No, not at all.
Be having Homeland Security holding interviews. We will not be.
Any Homeland Security interviews, I am not responsible for.
Hey,
you all have everything.
We don't have to worry about broken escalators either, right?
That's true.
Oh, there we go.
I don't think anybody knows what you're talking about there, Joe.
No, we've never climbed escalators for years.
Okay.
Now this is fantastic. So again, 8,000 square feet.
Over 8,000.
All right, let's talk about the restaurant and the bar. Let's get serious.
Yes, so
the important part.
That's all Allan cares about.
Well, all right, like I tell everybody, I'm not at Weight Watchers and I'm not a member of AA. So let's talk
He's
about
a writer.
My two, among so many other horrible things. So we have restaurant. We have.
And the breakfast buffet.
Yes, we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Our breakfast buffet does have an omelet station as well as cooked to order items. So you can get something off the menu. You can do the buffet. You can get an omelet. Plenty options.
Buffet and conventions go together really well for you guys.
Our buffet's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah. The breakfast buffet though, it comes with, if you stay at the hotel, you get 2 of those, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So book your room now before they're gone.
Absolutely.
But that's the best deal right there.
Yeah. I want to take a step back and talk about how we got involved with you guys. Joe stopped in for just like on a whim.
Yeah.
And he saw what you guys had, and he calls me and he's like, "Hey, I need you to meet me down here at the Marriott over on Poplar." I was like, "There's a Marriott on Poplar?" And and that's the thing is, you guys
everybody says
you guys are nestled in such a location that if you blink, you miss it.
Right. Well,
but then it's
true.
like this really awesome hidden gem, and we want to get the word out because yes, we want people to come to our convention because then we succeed. But we also we like you guys at this point just based on it was a weekend, and we had talked about wanting prices and everything. And they had someone on hand to come and sit down and immediately had, this package set up for us. And it's like, we've never seen someone who was that, dedicated. That usually it's like, well, you need to come back on Tuesday afternoon and talk to this one person.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, that's true. And I got a full confession, Alicia. I've driven. I mean, I live in East Memphis. I've driven by the hotel thousands of times, and it never occurred to me that you had the space we needed because nobody ever mentioned, in our circle, they're always talking about different venues. And I'm like, I wonder what the Marriott's like. And I went in and I was instantly hooked. I said, how did we miss this? It's right there.
That staircase and that balcony, as soon as you see it, you're like,
but it
feels
I can
put this here and that
right.
There. Yeah.
Oh, I mapped out the whole convention in 5 minutes. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, there's the dealer room. There's our main presentation room. There's our whatever.
I think Joe walked the space before he even met with one of the sales.
Oh, he did.
He had seen everything.
That's just Joe's way. It's like,
then he and I snuck back in later.
Yeah.
We should hire you all for sales. Y'all can show our space.
We need to be
good
your
at
field
this.
rep.
Right.
So. We can do that.
But honestly,
I actually need a job. So that'd be great.
Yeah. But honestly, I think Brandon's right. I mean, because we always we're all about really good partnerships. One of the things about the convention is really it's a series of, we've got hundreds of partnerships involved with the convention. It's like, and especially something like with the Marriott. You guys are great. Yeah. The space is beautiful, so we want more people knowing about it and more getting involved.
And that was one of the things is you guys. I mean, you were straight up with what you had right off the bat.
Right.
We have dealt with places very recently, in fact, where there's a lot of promises,
right?
Yeah.
And then they turn around and tell you, "Oh, wait, but you can't do that."
Right?
It's like you just told me I could, 2
days before,
2 days ago.
Right?
Yeah. It's like
yeah. We try to be upfront, that way you know what you're getting into, and you can see if it actually works for your program.
Yeah. Now, I want to tell you one thing too, Alicia, and I've talked about this with some of the other staff. One thing we are going to have, because we anticipate that we're going to probably fill up your parking lot, but not to fear everybody, we have an overflow parking lot. It's literally like 200 yards away, but it's across Poplar, so we're going to have a shuttle bus system.
Nice.
And so it's everything's free. There's no charge for parking or anything.
No charge for the shuttle.
So if you drive by the Marriott and wonder, are we going to fit in there?
Yes,
we will. But also, if you want a carpool, that's not a bad idea either.
But the lot we have for the overflow is it's monitored. It's security monitored and everything. And we'll have shuttles going back and forth. All day long.
Every 3 or 4 minutes, it's going to be So it'll be fine. So if you go by there, keep in mind. But
fear not when you see the parking lot, because they also while it looks small, I've seen you guys pack that with athletic buses.
Oh yeah, we get a lot of football teams. So we have about 348 spots on our parking lot. So
there's more spots than you would tell by the street.
For sure.
But no, we're pretty stoked. I can't wait.
Seriously excited.
And honestly, Alicia, usually about this time of year, I get to this point where I'm like, I don't ever want to do this again. Like there's this weird effect, and this is one of the first years where I'm just really excited about the convention. I'm looking forward, dude.
That's because you put all that on my shoulders.
But no, honestly, it's a lot of it is because Brandon too, but also it's just the staff's been so easy to work with. You guys. It's great. Yeah. It's nice not having any games.
Nobody telling you a month ahead of time. It's like, oh, by the way, we double booked.
Right. No, we got you all locked in. We're really excited about it. Everybody's been talking about it for sure.
Well, and they'll be take lots of pictures.
Yeah. Trust me, we will.
Anyways, guys, we again MCFC is moving to the Marriott Memphis East. Hopefully this will be the beginning of a very long relationship with you guys.
Yay.
And the convention, November 15th through 17th. If you don't have your tickets yet, you can pre-register through the website, correct, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Which is memphiscfc.com. There's also a link on there to book your rooms at the Marriott if you haven't yet. Chances are they're going to be going pretty quick at this point.
Yeah, so get your rooms.
And what is that con rate? Joe?
I think it's 100. I can't remember if it's 109 or 119, but it's pretty. It's much less than a normal.
Right.
It's a good discount.
And just throwing it out there to anybody, we had some website issues, but it is now set up where you can reserve it from Thursday through Sunday.
Right.
At that convention price.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, man. Can't wait.
The Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention is turning 10 and celebrating in a big way. We're starting Friday, November 15th, back in East Memphis at Memphis Marriott East. Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention 2019, November 15th through 17th. Check out the stars, Janelle Stevens from Black Panther and Luke Cage. Our Friday night concert, headlined by Kaza, cosplay contests, live cartoons, comic book artists, authors, and one-of-a-kind collectibles you can't find anywhere in the galaxy. Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, November 15th through 17th at Memphis Marriott East. Get your 3-day passes or single-day tickets now at MCFC.com.
This is a Kiss original on 101.9 Kiss FM. Geek Tank Radio is on.
Joe versus
the internet.
I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
Many questions actually are going to emerge out of this.
All right.
My son orders random things off the internet. Okay. He has Amazon Prime. He ordered an ocarina. You know what that is?
Yeah,
it's a little musical instrument.
Yeah, it's from The Legend of Zelda.
It looks like something.
Ever since then, every weeaboo in the world has felt the need to own one or 15.
Right. He's ordered. He's very interested in Japanese culture. He ordered a Japanese flute.
Yeah.
He orders this stuff that I'm like, I don't know where you even find this on the internet, and it all arrives at our house in 2 days.
Yeah, because
he has Amazon
is
Prime. I still don't have it for some reason. But okay.
You do realize that living in the house with him, you can share that account. When you have a Prime account, you can share with up to 5 people.
Yeah, but see, he's got this weird. That's a whole other discussion.
But you won't. But that's the thing. You won't see what he's ordering, and he won't see what you're ordering.
No, that's not it. I don't want to get on that subject. He's got this honesty thing. My son is like a Boy Scout. He's like, well, Dad, that's not really honest. You're not on this account. I'm like,
but that's
it is both honest and legal.
Yeah.
You can get
I'm gonna tell him that.
It is in the terms of service that you can share your Amazon Prime with up to 5 family members.
Okay, son.
I just had this big discussion with my aunt and 2 of my cousins because they were using all on one account, and then they were somebody was freaking out because there's charges they didn't understand. It's like you do realize you don't actually have to use the same Amazon account.
Right.
You can use separate accounts on the same Prime subscription.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so there's that. Then I go to Whole Foods and I'm starting to see these Amazon. They look like lockers.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'm seeing Amazon trucks everywhere.
Right.
Yep.
I look on the internet and I look for pretty random things myself. You can get it in 2 days with Amazon. Okay. How is this actually possible? Because I mean, there's only so much space you have in an actual warehouse. Like, what are these warehouses like? Are we talking about like? I just don't get how this actually works.
Have you ever been?
And when are they taking over, or have they already taken over?
How long have you lived here in Memphis?
20-something years. So.
20-something years. Now, how much time have you spent down by like where Diamond Comics is and stuff like that? Where those
I've seen those areas, but yeah.
All right. Now, you have noticed that there are some of them that are bigger than like, cotton fields. And they've just got tons and tons of stuff.
But that's like a food place.
Right. But you've also been up, you've been up, Highway 51 and seen Ingram Micro, right?
I think so,
It's huge. Right. It takes up acres upon acres. That is about half the size of what Amazon has in their local warehouse, and they have warehouses all over the country.
Right.
And the great thing is they're all on trade routes. So as long as they have it in stock, they can have it to you via FedEx, UPS, their own trucks, or the U.S. Postal Service in 2 days.
That's okay. That's what's getting it. Okay, because I'm a businessman.
Right.
I've been self-employed almost my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to have an ocarina sent to my son in 2 days, well, Amazon had to buy that ocarina from the ocarina company. And they had to decide how many to buy, and they had to keep it in stock. And there's so many random things. How much stuff do they
didn't
what's
buy
their
it.
inventory like?
Well, one, they didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They fulfill the order. Someone who actually has this
basically
basically leases space in their warehouses.
But some of these things are coming from
directly
like
from a third
Japan
party.
and stuff. I mean, how do they do that?
Joe,
It's called a container ship.
yeah. Well, I was going to say this.
I mean, they really are taking
I was
over
going
the
to say
world
this.
if that's the case.
Here's the amazing thing.
Yeah.
If you actually pay attention, and I know that a lot of people just say, "Ooh, look, it says click one button, boom, and it's coming to me."
Right.
But if you actually look at your stuff, a lot of times it'll say sold by, and it may be Toy Japan, who you're getting a box set of DVDs from.
Yeah.
But it'll say sold by Toy Japan, fulfilled by Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have taken up space in an Amazon warehouse because they know that their product is very popular amongst young Americans who are who love anime. You want to buy 14 copies of Dragon Ball Broly to put into your comic shop so that you can sell it to the fans. You don't have to wait for it to come all the way from there because Funimation and all them have bought up space in warehouses owned by Amazon in order to have Amazon fulfill those orders for them. But they also will tell you in that description, 15 copies left, order soon.
Okay.
Because then once those copies are done, then Amazon, they ship more from their overseas locations to Amazon, and it won't be available again until that point.
Okay, but here's the other thing. So that explains.
Trust me, I've
physically-
ordered many things that ended up on back order because they weren't in the warehouse at the time.
It's also called par levels and logistics because you have your drop fulfillment time.
Right.
So let's say on average you make walking sticks.
Yeah.
Let's pick on walking sticks, and you're wearing a very specialized T-shirt today.
Right.
So let's say you want to put that image on your walking stick and you want to sell those walking sticks.
Okay, not a bad
So,
idea, actually.
You go to Amazon and you fill out the little application that says, I got these really cool walking sticks and I want you to fulfill them. And they'll say, all right, well, give us 2 or 3 and we'll pay you when we sell them.
Right.
Yeah.
So you send them those 3.
So it's a consignment
Well,
deal.
well, hang on. And we discover that you sell about 3 a week.
Right.
So Amazon figures out it takes you 2 weeks to ship them, takes you 2 weeks to get the sticks to them because they're tracking all this by computer. So every time they get down to 3 sticks in inventory, they're going to turn around and send you a order and say, send us 9 more sticks.
Yeah.
Because by the time your 9 come in, those 3 will be sold, hopefully right on the nick of time. And it's called JIT, just-in-time ordering.
Yeah.
That your 9 sticks will show up into inventory just in time to sell the next 3 the next week. So this logistical nightmare, if you wish, of Amazon has actually perfected this system to the point where for extra money, Prime is not free. So basically for extra money, of a lot of products now qualify for what they call their Prime delivery. And they will get you your Prime delivery by whatever method they got to get it there.
That's my whole point. Okay, exactly. So, they physically can do this.
Yes.
Okay, well, how do you get FedEx or UPS to cooperate? How are they making any money out of this? Because if it's $100 a year, I could order 800 items, and they're supposed to be here in 2 days. So how are they making out?
Check this out.
Okay.
Have you ever paid attention to what's going on when you are perusing Amazon, especially on the homepage?
Well, I don't know. There's a lot going on.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
There are ads everywhere, and there are people who are willing to click.
Right.
Now, people are also willing to pay for that allotment to be within Amazon's warehouse to be fulfilled by Amazon. So Amazon's getting money not just from the people who are purchasing it, because Amazon sets that price when it's on Prime. They're also being paid by the people who are who are getting them to store this so that it can go out on Prime. They're getting revenue from all the ads that you may click on Amazon. Any suggested or promoted product you click on, they get a percentage of money just for you clicking on it. You don't even have to buy it.
Right.
At which point they have also made deals with with the delivery companies, the courier services. And if it's something that they can't do, if FedEx is like, there's no way we can do this, which, FedEx is not going to turn down what is basically free money for them either. Amazon will turn around and go, well, we bought a fleet of old trucks from you and we painted them blue and gray, and we've got the Amazon Prime logo slapped on the side of them. We'll just take them from our warehouse that are in local areas and deliver it directly to the person's house. And then we will take a picture of the spot where we left this package and send it to the consumer and go, hey, how do you like this delivery system? And when you click on it and give it a 4-star review on that delivery system, they start cutting out the middlemen of the other, delivery services. They start to feel that, that pressure of not being a part of this, and then they make deals so they can get that money back.
Is what's his name? Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos is.
Okay, what happens if
he's Dr. Doom?
What happens
if Elon Musk is Lex Luthor? Jeff Bezos is Dr. Doom.
Okay, what mechanisms are in place once he retires or something like this? And are robots taking over his position?
What's great about
who says they have?
I was going to say.
Now this is not. All right,
I mean, honestly, this is just going to grow, right?
Because I'm going to harken back to the days of Kimmons Wilson. You don't even know who Kimmons is.
The guy that founded
Holiday Inn. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
He was a mugwump, a maverick, a whatever you want to call him.
Right.
Troublemaker.
Well, he was a troublemaker. He went down here on Summer Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee in 1954 and bought a little hotel, named it after something from a movie.
Yeah.
It even had square green tubs.
Mm-hmm.
And literally because he was by the seat of his pants, he made that hotel make a profit. And the minute he had a profit, he spun it and did another one.
Yeah.
And literally about 3 or 4 of these in a row, because he was catering to some new fancy device. They called it an automobile.
Right.
Well, and everybody goes, 1950, what do you mean a new fancy device, the automobile? The automobile wasn't all that in a bag of chips until the 50s.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody had cars.
Because not only could your average family own one now, but they also could make distance.
Well, they could.
Well, and also the expressway system wasn't perfected.
Well,
either,
we had the Eisenhower project that had just begun, that began connecting things. And so here comes Kimmons, and he said, I'm going to connect lodging with travel and the car.
Yeah.
He even came up with a new word.
Right.
Motor hotel. Motel.
Yeah.
The Holiday Inn Motel. Now, fast forward a few years. Now, Holiday Inn literally owns the lodging business.
Do they?
Well,
I mean,
we're going to be in the 80s.
competition,
We're going to be in
right?
the 80s.
Yeah,
we're up to the 80s now.
We're still moving along.
Holiday Inn, coming into the early 80s, is by far the largest, most powerful lodging chain in the world.
Yeah.
Now, there's plenty of other competition. There's lots of other people out there. But the 800-pound gorilla is Holiday Inns.
Right.
And Holiday Inns did that by innovating themselves into every aspect of the industry. Holiday Inns had their own furniture supply company.
Yeah.
Holiday Inns had their own first TV company. Literally, he wanted to do his own television network for his hotels, so he built one. So, welcome to the early days of the Maverick. Well, let's jump over and look at, Mr. Bezos, who has also done the same thing. If you can't deliver my stuff on time, guess what? I'll get somebody that can. Oh, well, nobody can get my stuff there in the time I want to get it there. We'll just do it ourselves. And Amazon, one category at a time, because Amazon began with books.
Yeah.
Books are heavy, books are cumbersome, but books were popular. All right, Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and here everybody comes, and the battle is on. But Amazon gets smart, because it's not just books, it's book-related merchandise. And then it was toys. And then it was all of these things that as the internet grew, people would purchase on the internet.
And then they slid back towards books and gave us the Kindle. And now the Fires.
And they got the digital book thing working. They got all that working. But that whole time, anything that ships became fair game for Amazon. So you think of anything that could be shipped, anything that can go, by ground, by air, by any of the shipping services.
Yeah.
Because all the shipping services made it so pretty much anything can be shipped to your house.
Yeah. No, I
get
this.
But Amazon has consistently looked at every aspect of that and has picked it up as they could. So now they're down to fresh food. They're into pharmacy. They're into self-delivery. They're into robotics. They're into their underlying underbelly of tech is unbelievable.
But they are like a monopoly, right?
But do you know where the majority of their money comes from?
What?
AWS.
What's that?
Amazon Web Services.
It's
the world's most comprehensive cloud platform. They have the American government runs on Amazon.
That's
Web
what I'm
Services.
saying. This is just getting it's getting all this stuff under one umbrella, which is really kind of. It's like it's not only its own country because people around the world use Amazon, so it's just kind of. I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know.
Amazon
has happened pretty quick in terms of a business evolution. 10 years ago, we weren't talking about Amazon Prime.
Yes, we were. Yeah, we weren't talking about Amazon Prime. We were talking about Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first year Amazon at Christmas did $1 billion. That
was like 2001, wasn't it?
The news media freaked out.
It's been almost 20 years.
Well, you look at look at a failed example like Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Toys R Us early back 97, 98, 99 tried to come in early and get ahead of the online ordering curve. It was still young. It was still a baby then. And Toys R Us made the horrible mistake of shipping things before they were ready to ship.
Right.
All right. AKA, they just weren't ready. They weren't ready for the volume. Mm-hmm. And so you ordered toys for your kids, and they showed up with no overwrap.
Right.
So your giraffe playset showed up in the giraffe playset box.
Just a label slapped on it.
With just a shipping label, so there went your big surprise.
And if I remember correctly, with Toys R Us, that first year where they allowed for internet ordering around the holidays, most of the stuff ended up on back order. It didn't show up until January, February.
Yeah. A lot of Toys R Us. I don't think ever recovered.
Okay. Well, I don't know, man.
But Amazon. But see, here's the trick: Amazon never did anything that they weren't already able to deliver. So every time Amazon has edged up a little bit, they, over the last, and I know we're thinking Amazon suddenly has appeared, but Amazon's been doing this since 1997.
Well,
they've been at this for over 20 years.
In terms of a business evolution, it's been pretty fast, I think. So.
Oh, yeah, for total world domination in 20 years?
Yeah.
That ain't bad.
I just don't want to be, the United States of Amazon at some point.
They can't do any worse than what's happening with the America now. I'm sorry, Joe. We are a dumpster fire, and none of us get along or anything else like that. Amazon at least brings us together.
Well, look this way.
In our addiction and need to watch Good Omens.
Well, and it will deliver in 2 days or less.
Yep.
All right. No way.
The Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention is turning 10 and celebrating in a big way. We're starting Friday, November 15th, back in East Memphis at Memphis Marriott East. Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention 2019, November 15th through 17th. Check out the stars, Janelle Stevens from Black Panther and Luke Cage. Our Friday night concert, headlined by Kaza, cosplay contests, live cartoons, comic book artists, authors, and one-of-a-kind collectibles you can't find anywhere in the galaxy. Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, November 15th through 17th at Memphis Marriott East. Get your 3-day passes or single-day tickets now at MCFC.com.
Their superpower is knowing everything in the geek universe. Geek Tank Radio is on.
Well, I can safely say, I can look you dead in the eye and go, I know what an alien abduction is like.
Yeah, you've participated. You've witnessed them. You've been probed.
Have you been probed, Allan?
I've been stuck, drained, squeezed, irradiated. Oh my gosh. Welcome to the world of pre-surgery.
I was going to ask, did they put you back, inside out like they do with the cows?
No, I think everything fit back where it was supposed to go. Okay. So, yeah, welcome to the world of pre-surgery.
Right.
So, yeah.
When's your surgery? You're getting surgery?
This Monday. This Monday, yeah.
Oh,
I get to become a cyborg.
On the 14th.
Yes.
Allan becomes a Terminator.
He's getting a robotic hip put in, right?
Yep.
Something like that.
I will be Darth Allan.
Yeah. There was a day, Allan, when getting your hip replaced sounded like a big deal, but now it's you're pretty much in it.
Oh, right? It's kind of frightening. Everybody gets so excited.
Yeah.
They look at you and they go, Oh yes, well we can't wait to do this. Look, and here's the new parts. This is the ceramic, and this is the hook that goes in your femur, and this is a little spot we're gonna drill in, and we're gonna put this little cap in it, and these little parts right here pop together. You'll be on the table an hour, and we'll wake you up a little later, and we're gonna send you home. And I'm going,
really?
Doesn't that sound a little quick?
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like, the mothership's just buzzing by quickly, gonna pick you up. We'll be done with you in just a minute, put you right back. So, yeah.
So what's pre-surgery? Like, what do they do for that?
Well, pre-surgery, your surgery center sends your doctor a list of all these things in initials so you don't know what they are. And they send it over, and they kind of like unwittingly get him in here and then do all of this stuff to him.
Without telling him too much.
Yeah, don't let him know too much. So, and of course, my adventure begins with the very, very competent nurse dealing with me, looking at me, going, "So why are you here today?" And I'm thinking, "Don't you know?"
Yeah.
And she literally kind of goes that. And she literally has the uh-oh look on her face. And I'm like, this is not good.
Yeah.
This is kind of like
she didn't get the memo.
This is kind of like that thing where it says, let your doctor know any medications that you might be allergic to. It's like, shouldn't he already have that in your file?
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's like, bring all your medications with you. And of course, I'm sitting there, and they're all like going, all right, where's your bag of medications? I don't have any.
Yeah.
Well, aren't you on? No, not on anything. Don't you have anything for pain? And I look at him and go, no.
Yeah, it's
you
called
people
sarcasm.
wouldn't give me anything. So it's been a sense of humor.
Right.
So,
yeah, exactly.
Genetic experimentation.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, I've got the picture of the hip, the X-ray on my phone. Because
you do.
And
that's your screensaver, right?
It is. It's kind of like, if you want to know why I'm a little grouchy today, this is why.
Yeah.
So. But, every time you show it to somebody, you show it to the nurse, and she's like, oh, you walked in here? Oh, jeez. Yeah, I feel so much better.
Allan, I've noticed that you've showed off that picture of your broken hip like the way people show off pictures of their baby. It's like, now look over here is the crack, and over here is where it's coming apart. And
this is where it fused back together.
What I still think is hilarious is that even after you knew what was going on, you still didn't, immediately go, all right, we're going to have to schedule this surgery. It's like, we'll see what we can do.
Let's see if it gets better. Put a Band-Aid on it.
Let's go look at stem cells.
I want a full 3 months off, so let me get a couple more PTO hours in there.
Yeah, let's get a few more weeks in here. So I have, and I've got to say this to the lab.
Yeah.
They got in-house. Good stick.
What do you mean? Oh, like they
got to stick you.
Yeah.
They got to get a lot of blood. So, when the young lady's over there doing the thing, and she takes it out, and I look
broke Andy.
And I look over, and she's got the big butterfly needle.
Oh, yeah.
The one with the big plastic straps on the side and the long needle.
For those of you at home who can't see this, Andy's been sitting over here just listening. He's like really into like what Alan's telling, because we all get that way when we're around Alan. It's like it's story time with Uncle Alan.
Yeah.
And Andy's got this look of just concern on his face, and then and then all of a sudden you get to this point about sticking. Andy just became a corn cob. He clenched that tight.
Yeah. Cutting your hip open's no big deal. But
I don't.
He don't do needles.
I don't do needles.
Which is hilarious.
You could
oh no,
slice
she's
me
open this
all
thing
day
open
long.
right in front of you. Big old about the big butterfly wings on it and everything.
You could slice me open all day long, do whatever surgery you need to do. The minute you bring out a needle,
that gets serious.
You have to strap me to the table.
Which is hilarious because he's got this giant tattoo on his forearm that he was not able to look at while they were doing it.
No, I was not.
He wasn't sure if they were doing it right or not.
They weren't.
Yeah, 1,000 needle pricks are okay, but
no, it's the looking.
Okay,
it's the watching the blood.
Yeah,
come out of you.
It's the watching the blood come out of you and the feeling of the thing going into your body. Like,
I will admit,
she was very good, and of course we've got the table with the flip down across the front.
Yeah,
and I was kind of like, as I let it down, I put it down myself, and that's what that'd keep me from bolting. And she goes, nah, we could catch you. And I'm sitting there looking at my cane and my leg, and I went, this would be the slowest chase since OJ.
Yeah.
This would be a slow chase. And I said, I'm just going to lean back here and let you do your thing. But, I've got to tell you, being in the healthcare industry, when you got somebody that's a good stick,
that
is a skill.
Sure.
that is a welcome skill. It's not like getting drilled with a pencil. This is like, okay, yeah, you're going to feel it and all that, but it ain't bad.
See, I feel like that's been my problem. Every time I've had to get a shot, it's always just been a bad stick.
Somebody just drills you like a pencil. No,
Allan,
if you got somebody with skill, the needle is not
Allan,
bad.
I'm a ninja with a syringe.
You would be
Trust
able
me.
to answer this because I've had my experiences good and bad with that, and there was this one nurse who was sitting there talking to me, going, "Yeah, so this thing," and then and she goes, and all of a sudden she had already stuck the needle in as she was talking to me.
So distracted,
and I was totally I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't all that bad. So is that part of it? It's a psychology.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that was good.
Meanwhile, my wife, you take blood from her, she's fine while it's happening.
Right.
And doesn't matter what she's had to eat, what she's had to drink beforehand. She goes to get up and she falls down.
Oh, well,
let's
you
not
need
do
your
that.
blood,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
but I have my new walker.
Right.
Yeah, my new walker. I've been to my pre-surgery training. I've seen my new bionic parts.
Okay.
Oh, they get.
I will be partly ceramic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is kinda cool.
they have them in like plastic bags and stuff or something, right?
Oh yeah, they got a whole
before
demo up on the table. You can play with it and see how it works and all that. Oh yeah, and it's
I figured they want to try to keep it, sterile.
No,
before they
not
put it in
the
your
one they're
body.
going to put in you.
Yeah.
But they
okay.
have one on the table so you can like play with it.
Okay.
It's the test drive.
Yeah, it's
It's the showpiece.
yeah, it's
Okay.
it's in the showroom. They're not going to sell
Right.
this one,
Right.
But
Okay.
so it's just
It's like when they have the switch sitting there that doesn't have any electronics
Right,
in
yeah.
it, just so you can get the feel for it.
Right.
Yeah.
so I now have a lot in common with anyone that says they've been abducted by aliens. But I did notice there's one big
Because you got
difference.
probed, right?
Oh, I got stuck, bled, drained, squeezed.
I just
Here's
love
the
that.
cup.
He's glossing over it
Yeah.
entirely.
Here's the cup. Here's the It's gonna be more than probe, dude. They're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
popped open like a grapefruit.
X-rayed. Yeah.
They're gonna cut the end of the femur off. I love it. And they're just so happy about this.
I'm just putting this out there to the to the audience. How many of y'all would like us to find a way to videotape it and put it on our
it's
YouTube
funny how
channel?
you said that, Brandon. I was just thinking somebody should have followed Allan with a video camera through this thing. I mean, all the different little snarky remarks and all.
And it would have been
whatever.
a Benny Hill episode, I promise you.
Yeah, I mean, we're wasting good material,
we could
Allan.
play the music behind it.
Allan needs
it's
a
all
selfie
time lapse
stick.
for the things
Yeah.
that don't have any information. So it's just Allan moving really fast, which with that limp because of the broken hip.
Looks like it looks like
He'll
he's
look
going.
like Benny Hill.
Well, he looks like he's going at normal speed.
You know what's interesting about this too is
Well, that's just mean, Andy.
in a normal situation, if I had a friend that was getting their hip replaced, it would probably be like, "Oh well, hang in there, brother. You're gonna be okay." And all we
I'll
can
pray
do is
for
ridicule.
you. But it's Allan.
It's like,
Well, we can't. All right, first of all,
hey, he's cultivated this.
First of all,
his whole life.
they've
He
tried to
deserves
kill
it, man.
Allan for decades, and
Yeah.
it hadn't taken yet.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about him. And the fact is he probably designed his hip anyway.
Look,
That's
they didn't give him anything for pain. They literally said, "Are you
Holy
good?
crap, you're walking on that?
Are you good?"
None of this is gonna help you.
Yeah, tough it through it. Okay, you're fine then. Let's rock and roll.
Just
Right.
keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're so excited about it. They're like, so happy. You're like, all right, so here's what we're going to do. Now, you see this part right here that's really, really arthritic? Yeah. All right, we're going to take a drill. We're going to clean that out and make it nice and pretty. And we got this little titanium cap. We're going to pop in that little hole right there, and that's going to be your hip joint. Then we're just going to clip the end that arthritic end right off the end of your femur. And here's the little ball and hook that goes into the bone that they drive into them like...
Yeah,
wow, this is kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of like, all right, it's kind of
and
cool.
then they're like, and since you didn't need any pain medication,
Right.
why use anesthesia?
Right.
Knock you out.
So he can record it himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
We're
do you
just gonna
mean knock you
We're
out?
just gonna give you a local.
We'll just
Yeah.
we'll just have a little action cam right there going.
That's what they need.
So yeah.
No. What you need?
GoPro on the doctor's thing.
There you go.
Yeah, GoPro on the doctor's thing, and then you need another guy in there, one of us in there, to be our version of Steve Irwin.
Oh no!
Color commentary. Brandon's color commentary.
I do not need a Jeremy
no.
Wade for my surgery.
What's Jowers doing on Monday?
Oh, God. Don't get him
Because
there.
that's who you want, walking us through.
He would be over there playing with the little end of the femur. That's all I got to say. That's just
Yeah.
just wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I do hope everything goes okay, Alan, but this is good material. So, I mean, your suffering makes for good enjoyment or entertainment.
Yeah. Well,
so
I have found the lack of sympathy in my life hilarious. Everybody's like, oh yeah, everybody just looks at me and goes, oh yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
All I see right now is that, it's time for payback. all those places you took a mutual friend of ours when she was laid up and couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's time to call in that marker.
Oh yeah.
Well, Alan's going to come tap dancing in 2 days later, so we're not even going to get the enjoyment.
Oh no.
Of
It's like
undergoing any.
He gets cut on Monday. We record the next Friday. He's going to come in like nothing happened.
Right.
Probably not.
But he might be a little loopy. I'm sure they'll give him drugs for this one.
No, they already told me all that'll wear off by Thursday.
Oh,
okay.
So they told me Thursday's a bad day.
So Andy, put it on the schedule. We're recording on Wednesday next week.
Yeah.
Right.
So we can get loopy science with Alan.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Woo! Let me tell you how this drug feels.
I already got your science for next season. Alan, Professor Gilbert's rehab.
There you go.
Yay! So yeah, I've already had the PTs and everybody look at me, and I've already had lessons on how to walk up and down stairs and how to get around and how to get in and out of the shower. And
holy crap! You know what just dawned on me? Your hip was broken when we had that fire drill here in the studio, and you had to walk down 4 flights of stairs.
Yes.
Holy crap!
Yeah. That's where it all began. So, all right.
As Brandon goes, OMG. Yeah, it's been like this. Just didn't
I
happen in a
apologize
week,
for wondering why it was taking you so long. I was like, screw it, smoke inhalation. I'll miss him.
Yeah. Well, Alan, we are going to be following your suffering with great interest, sir. Thanks for the material.
Geek Tank Radio, energized by
Dark Oak Press and Media, an indie publisher and media provider offering everything from Alice in Memphis to mystery to young adult and everything in between. Get the latest at darkoakpress.com.
More below and on 1019kissfm.com. Keyword Geek Tank. There's always those stories that defy labels. Thankfully, there's the GTR Random Roundup.
Alrighty, let's talk about the power of cheese.
We love cheese.
We love cheese. Did you know why you love cheese?
No, why do I love cheese?
Why do you love cheese? Well, the University of Michigan has decided that cheese is so beloved because it's addictive.
Oh,
okay. I don't doubt that.
Does everybody at the table
how much funding did they get for that study? I could have told them that.
This brings me back to that whole thing, man. We need to start working for a university so we can say, I need a grant. Why do you need a grant? To understand why my toe hurts when I stub it on the couch at night.
Yeah, I mean, obvious studies or something like that.
I've worked for universities. That's not how that works.
No,
No, but you were in the English department. They don't like giving you money for anything.
No, that's true.
That's true.
All right, University of Michigan decided to figure out what is the most addictive foods.
Right.
Oddly, they discovered, being on a college campus, it was pizza.
Well,
and then
it's
they were kind of
cheese.
like, they went, why is that addictive? Well, it's because of the cheese.
Huh.
Because the cheese apparently activates your opioid receptors. AKA, cheese acts like a drug.
I don't doubt it, Alan. Alan, can I ask you something? When you say this, it reminds me of my relationship with cheese reminds me of the relationship I have with my morning Diet Coke. Like it wakes me up, but I really do feel a little better after I drink it. And the same with if I have cheese and crackers, I kind of feel better, unless I have too much. But so there's a receptor being activated.
There's little brain receptors just getting all happy when you start slapping that old sour milk in there.
Okay.
So I just had a whole different vision of Tony Montana with his pile of cheese on the desk instead of the drugs.
Hey, that was not cocaine. That was
Gouda.
That was Parmesan.
That was there you go.
Okay. To what end, though? Gosh, this could turn ugly.
I don't want to hear about cheese and your end, Joe. I just want to hear what your random is.
Okay, well, Dateline, MSNBC. I don't know where they're. Okay, so Courtney Cube was on set. She was delivering a very serious report about Turkish airstrikes in Syria.
Right.
It's
a major issue right now. It's little darker than we usually go, but okay.
You guys have heard of take your daughter or take your kids to work day?
Absolutely.
Well, I don't recommend that if you're a TV host doing a live
Oh,
report.
no.
And your 4-year-old son comes up behind you and starts making faces and who's the floor director in this thing? This kid comes up, her son Ryan. She's got twins. I guess one of them got loose.
One distracted, one headed for the money shot.
She's trying to give this big report. And then this kid is behind her doing all this. Then he jumps on the seat. She was concerned,
some poor PA lost his job because he could only wrangle one kid at a time.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly. And I guess, luckily, she said normally in a situation like this, he might throw a tantrum or cry or scream, but he did pretty well. I guess he enjoyed being on camera, but I don't know what happened
it's
to him.
MSNBC.
It was a live report.
It's MSNBC. You know, he was probably, very. It's not like he was on Fox News.
Okay.
Well, anyway. Then he would have been the smartest person on the set.
So you gotta get anyway. But I don't recommend it.
You can send me all the hate mail you want. I don't care.
Take your kid to work day. It should have its limitations. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good video though. Check the video out. Yeah.
So, for mine, we go to our favorite place.
We're going to Florida.
Going to Florida.
I love Florida.
All right. So Palm City, Florida.
Been there. Nice place.
We haven't gotten a lot of stories out of Palm City.
No, not really.
It's nice to see that we can check them off the list.
Yeah. They usually come from elsewhere in Florida.
Yeah.
Port St. Lucie.
Yeah. Lots of Port St. Lucie.
That's the black hole of Florida. So yeah. Okay.
Authorities in Palm City, Florida, say they've arrested a Florida man who provoked a small alligator into biting his arm.
Nice.
And then poured beer into the alligator's mouth.
Did it work?
All right. Well, first off,
Did he clamp down?
I'm sure a amount of beer went in the human first.
Oh, yeah.
Before we decided to go get chewed on by a gator.
All right, Andy, were the words, "Hey guys, watch this," uttered before this happened? That's what I'm hearing.
Well,
so
there's two guys. So
there's two of them.
News outlets report that 27-year-old Timothy Kepke and 22-year-old Noah Osborne were charged last week with unlawfully taking an alligator.
Okay.
Which I did not know was a thing.
And contributing to the delinquency of an underage alligator.
Apparently.
Taking an alligator?
Yeah. Unlawfully take it, because apparently there's a lawful way.
Yeah, I was about to say, how's the lawful?
The lawful way is when you are called in as animal control to move said alligator.
To get the alligator off the liquored up person's arm.
Yeah.
Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission officers began investigating in August following a complaint of Osborne catching the alligator in Palm City and handing it to Kepke. Kepke appears in a video to let the reptile bite his forearm. The video also shows Kepke feeding the alligator beer as it struggles.
Wait, how big is this alligator?
It ain't big, obviously.
It doesn't say.
It still would have hurt.
It's probably
biting your arm.
Probably not even a meter.
When officers interviewed Kepke last month, he reportedly acknowledged that he was in the video and said the gator was alive when they released it.
Well, what does that mean?
And had a hangover.
That means it found dead later?
That means it finally bit him and went into the glades, and they have no idea where he is.
So there's now
a drunk, an
alcoholic gator running around the Florida Everglades.
Oh, God.
Yeah, what does that do? Does that put him
so-
to sleep, or does it make him worse? Does it make him? I don't know, Alan.
Have
you
ever
probably
seen-
had experience with
Have you ever seen a con goer after midnight on Saturday?
There we go. I mean,
Kind of like that.
Gator looking for a fight. Wow.
Well, I'm not leaving
pretty good,
Florida.
Andy.
I'm staying in Florida.
Oh, no.
But while my story doesn't involve alligators or the mention of alcohol anyway, that's not to say there isn't some sort of alcohol involved in giving this guy the courage to do what he did. Florida resident Zoltan Crisco
That is a Florida name. Zoltan owns he owns it. Well, never mind.
No.
Zoltan rules his neighborhood. That's all I'm saying.
Listen to the story, my friend. Listen to the story.
Name.
He has reportedly filed suit against Marvel, Apple, Amazon, Fox, and Disney, among many others.
Wow.
The allegation that the classic 1990s X-Men animated series theme song is an unauthorized reproduction of the theme song to Hungarian TV series Linda. I'm going to tell you. Hold on. Linda's kind of like this. It's like their version of La Femme Nikita.
Yeah.
Now, I have listened to both of these theme songs.
Yeah.
Yes, the X-Men song is a direct rip-off of this song.
Wow.
But what authority does he have to sue?
All right, so
he's not an injured
the series.
party.
He was Linda.
The series.
He just happened to notice it. He's the one of the two guys that watched
the Linda series boasted a theme written by composer Georgi Vukan, who. I would like to go ahead and apologize to anybody who have weird sounding names, and because
Joe's gonna fall out.
Joe's the most insensitive person in Memphis. Anyway. He passed away in 2013, and his estate passed through a will to Crisco, who then registered the copyright to the Linda theme song in the U.S. in 2017. Now, Crisco, acting as his own legal counsel, and this is where I think alcohol was involved, is reportedly claiming that the theme song is at least in part responsible for the success of every X-Men adaptation of the past 30 years, including the films which have never used the theme song. He is seeking compensation from essentially every entertainment entity that has ever shared in the property's success. Amazon and Apple, for example, because the series is available for rental or purchase on their streaming services.
Okay.
Sounds fair.
Hold up.
Yeah.
I actually buy this.
Yeah.
Because that theme song is genuinely the dopest theme song that has ever been put to an animated series.
I will give you every bit of props on agreeing with that, 112%. And honestly, though, after listening to the Linda theme song, it's like the version you would have heard at the end credits as it kind of drifts away.
Like it fades out?
Yeah,
like
because it's a much more subtle, almost MIDI
but
type thing.
It still has that like awesome like
which we can't do a whole lot or else we're going to get sued too.
Wait, how much is he suing for? Like
He's
everybody.
or something?
Everyone.
He's suing everybody who's ever touched this thing. In fact, we may be in the lawsuit just for having watched it.
So action figures and Target.
But yeah, anybody who's ever been involved with that animated series, he's suing everybody.
And he's saving on the lawyer's fees by doing it himself.
Right,
Yeah, this is
right.
bound to succeed, man.
Because
there's no way this will fail.
And well, the thing is it all really depends on of course where if this goes through where the hearing is held. Because if it's held in Florida, he's wrong.
Oh, gloves are off there.
Right.
Huh.
But let's say it's like you do it in Texas, they're gonna slap the crap out of him and send him home.
So he's just rolling the dice. Like he's thinking this is like a D20. One of the sides have to come up.
He figures somebody's gonna settle.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't have to worry about it.
And Zoltan. Okay.
Yeah, Zoltan Crisco.
Zoltan, what a name. My gosh, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
So that if that's not a super villain's name, I don't know what is it?
Well, I don't know.
Wait.
He had Magneto was right. This kind of deal.
Yeah.
All you're getting at, you're saying that because his last name is a cooking oil.
No. It's
Zoltan.
It's Zoltan.
Cool. It's Zoltan.
Which he's kind of like confused between whether it's Zartan or Zoltar. Yeah. It's a combination. It's if they had a love child, it would be Zoltan.
Yeah, Zoltan is cool. Yeah.
It really does. It really does sound like
win.
a cheesy, like fortune teller at a carnival starts off a horror movie.
No. It's like it's the machine.
Yeah.
That's all rusted and broken.
Yeah.
But you put your quarter in, and then
it's gonna make you big.
Or it's an X-Men villain. I mean, whatever. Either way, Zoltan needs to be known.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
Good for you.
It's true.
So.
But yeah, there's no financial no numbers right now.
Okay.
Just the fact that he is suing everybody who's ever touched this series. And yes, if you listen to it, it's definitely the same song, just in different tones.
Okay. Brandon, once again, I think you've won the random roundup. I mean, every week. I know this isn't a competition, but my gosh,
it's a competition. But the thing about it is that the only people who actually win are our listeners because we had to research this stuff.
He just needs more cheese.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, you know what? If Disney gave him a bunch of cheese, Zoltan wouldn't care about this theme song anymore.
They need to cheese him out. Yeah. Okay. Well, we hope we've cheesed you out today on Geek Tank Radio, whatever that means. So, is that going to be our new?
That's actually, I think I like that better than not having a stun setting, Joe. That's your new catchphrase.
You off, right? So, anyway, okay. So we've done our job and we're taking off. So until next week, we are the Geek Patrol, and I am Joe Thorderson.
I'm Allan Gilbreth.
I'm Andy,
and I am Brandon. Reminding you to check in with us next season when, well, nobody knows exactly what we're going to talk about, but me and Brody are going to probably watch racing.
Geek Tank Radio. More below and on 1019kissfm.com. Keyword Geek Tank.